Mark Carney steps out of the vehicle at Downing Street. Warm smiles, handshakes, ceremony, respect. And here's what makes this moment historic. Just 1 decade ago, this would have been unthinkable. And yet, here we are. While Donald Trump has been shaking the global system with tariffs, threats, and unpredictability, Mark Carney has been doing the exact opposite. Trump wanted pressure. Carney built alternatives. For decades, the United States has been Canada's overwhelming trading partner. But in an era where Washington is increasingly unpredictable, Canada is now actively building new partnerships. Instead of bowing to unilateral coercion, Ottawa is securing a dense web of reliable alliances. Canada is projecting strategic stability.
I think the opportunity we've got to put together our values, our principles, and apply them to a very volatile world is really important this morning. Thank you for all your support on Ukraine. It's been invaluable, and the coalition of the willing.
And I do want to pick up on this point on Ukraine and really commend you, Keir, for your leadership of the coalition of the willing. It would not have happened without you, and it's exactly that type of leadership that the world requires now, which is to put together these coalitions that help address real issues.
The coalition of the willing. That is saying that the traditional transatlantic security consensus is completely fracturing. This is code. It means the alliances are permanently shifting. Then came the moment that revealed just how willing Carney is to challenge Washington. The American administration is currently demanding that allied nations provide military naval escorts to secure the Strait of Hormuz. This is a highly volatile maritime choke point where exactly 20% of the world's oil supply passes every single day. Washington expected immediate compliance from its northern neighbor. Ottawa completely refused. This is not survival. This is a counterattack. He didn't say Canada fears the conflict. He said Canada is charting its own course. That's a counterpunch. He is competing structurally by prioritizing domestic sovereignty over foreign military adventures. Instead of acting as a subordinate, Canada is asserting absolute independence. The message to the Oval Office is unmistakable. Canada will not be dragged into unpredictable conflicts. He didn't blink. He didn't hedge. He didn't posture. Leverage. That's what this is about. Economic leverage, geopolitical leverage, leverage that shrinks Washington's influence. This raises a fundamental question for policymakers about the future of international relations. The traditional mechanics of American coercion are visibly losing their effectiveness. Before the cameras rolled, they exchanged brief, calculated nods of solidarity. Middle powers are paying close attention to this explicit rejection. The diplomatic chessboard is being fundamentally rearranged. Notice the stark reality of the situation as reported by the press.
So far, few countries have expressed a desire to heed the president's request and provide naval escorts for oil tankers through the strait. That's probably more of a live question for Keir Starmer than it is for Mark Carney, as Canada has clearly stated that we are not going to participate.
That line changes everything. That is not commentary. That is positioning. So what does this mean for Canada's economy? Beyond Downing Street, Carney even held a private audience at Buckingham Palace with King Charles. While the American administration attempts to project authority, Ottawa is expanding a dense web of influence across Europe. Canada is securing independent supply chains, military pacts, and trade routes, defense, energy security, and advanced technologies. They are locking down agreements with European powers and looking across the Pacific to China, India, and Japan. They diversify. They build new alliances. They refuse to remain dependent. The old world is gone. The old dependencies are gone. The old comfort zone is gone. Optionality reduces vulnerability, and Canada is securing that optionality at a historic pace. Middle powers are recognizing that relying on a single, erratic superpower is a profound vulnerability. This strategic pivot guarantees that no unilateral tariff can destabilize the Canadian market. By tightening bilateral ties, Canada protects its core assets. The government is not just reacting, it is completely redefining its international posture. Trade, security, and global diplomacy are now functioning independently of American oversight. This represents a fundamental rupture in transatlantic relations. The shift is permanent. Canada is actively positioning itself as a leader for nations seeking stability. The global order is being rewritten without Washington dictating the terms. As global markets watch this transition, the contrast in leadership styles provides a clear advantage for Ottawa. Foreign investors are witnessing a nation that refuses to be bullied. The reliance on American markets is being systematically reduced day by day. This calculated independence secures a robust economic future for generations. The implications of this summit ripple far beyond the immediate trade figures. By demonstrating the absolute capacity to say no to the Oval Office, Carney has established a new baseline for Canadian foreign policy. Other nations are taking notes. The geopolitical gravity is shifting away from traditional power centers. In capitals around the world, diplomats are studying this exact playbook. The strategy is clear: insulate the domestic economy, project unwavering confidence internationally, and never surrender sovereign decision-making to a volatile partner. This isn't just a temporary adjustment. It is a comprehensive reimagining of North American dynamics. Ottawa is proving that a middle power can successfully push back against a superpower without suffering economic collapse. The resilience of the Canadian system is on full display. What happened in London today was more than a routine diplomatic visit. It was a glimpse into a changing global order. If you want sharp, fearless analysis of how Canada is navigating global pressure while expanding its economic power, this is the channel for you. We break down the strategy behind the speeches, the leverage behind the deals, and the leadership behind the headlines. Mark Carney isn't just reacting to events. He's reshaping Canada's global position in real time. Subscribe to Canada SR. Turn on notifications and stay ahead of the geopolitical shifts defining this decade. And now, I want to hear from you. Will Canada's absolute refusal to join U.S. military operations strengthen its global alliances? Or will it provoke aggressive retaliation from Washington? Let me know in the comments below.